All right, so welcome to our Smartboard Beyond the Basics training today. Hopefully you all know me. My name is Clint Stevens. I work with SEDC. My job's to be out working with teachers in Iron County and Beaver and Millard and Garfield and Kane and Washington counties, helping them use technology in their classroom. Used to work with Brent over there in Valley all the time, so it's good to see you. Good to see you here. So here's our tentative agenda. Again, this website here, and I get to use the cool. What's going on?
Okay, yeah, I want to know if that.
Yeah, mine does that all the time.
How do you fix that?
You know, I don't think the board's plugged in. It's got a little, I got a little red here. It might need some extra power.
Unplug it and then plug it with
Okay, let's try that. So you guys have more experience with this stuff. I was having a problem getting it to orient earlier on. There we go. You guys are so
What can I
smart.
say?
So hey, look at this. So now if I do this, it kind of goes where my pen's going. I tried to orient it earlier. I tried to, and let's do it one more time. So to review, you want to orient the board, hit the little question mark, and hey, that worked too. When I was doing it before, and Mark can attest to this, it would bring up the keyboard. So I didn't know what was
If
going
you
on.
push both buttons at the same time, it'll just come up with the dots.
So let's do the orientation here. I can drag my finger in. I don't have to click like perfectly on it. You can kind of move your finger into the right spot. It's wherever you let go, not where you initially click. And so yes, this is the advanced course. And hopefully, hey, that's better. Okay, so Google, goo.gl / little s, big E, little p, big P, 3R, capital R. Will take you back to my website with this document that we're going to go through, plus the Notebook 11.4 tutorial that kind of goes through all the different new features, and that's something you can review on your own if you have the inclination or the time or the need. So let's see if I can move that ink now. See, look, now, aha, I got the circle done correctly. And I've linked, this is a link now, and so we're going to show you how to do this. I can insert a link to any object, and it shows that there's a link there by this little globe right here, or I can even just create a link to some other stuff. These are some other handouts that were from another training that I did not do, but they were decent stuff. So we're going to go through this. First thing we're going to do, lesson activity toolkit. You guys are familiar with that? Maybe, hopefully. How do I get to the lesson activity toolkit and what is in there once I get there? Anyone? Okay, in the gallery, there's a difference though. So the gallery, there's a couple different folders in here. The gallery essentials is all of those clip art files, the maps and the faces and the animals and all that kind of stuff. Background papers, and you can get to all that through the search. And we'll use the search today to find a few of these new options. But this lesson activity toolkit that's where you can bring in all of the different interactive multimedia kind of things that you can build on your own. So I'm going to put in a new page and pull up some of my favorites in the lesson activity toolkit, like dice, not like that. Yeah. And so with the dice, these are, you may think, well, why do I need a set of dice for? Not photos, the interactive and multimedia. What you can do is use this as a random student picker. So you can bring those in. If you tap the dice, it'll roll it. You say, all right, row 5, and it says
4.
It speaks the number out. So row 5, student number 4. Tell me something, whatever. So that's one of the fun things I like in the lesson activity toolkit.
3.
You can't get rid of them once you make them. So new page. Go back into lesson activity toolkit. Under this activities folder, category sort, images and text. That's kind of a fun one to use. There aren't really 6 different games here. They're just one activity with 6 different colors. But if you want to use one of those, again, you just drag it in here, and it will allow you to, if I edit that, I can put in the different labels. You can have 2 or 3 columns to do the sorting. So quickly, I used to be a science teacher, so I always go back to, let's see, birds and not birds. And so here I can say an eagle and a dove and a parakeet. And here I can say dog, cat, mouse. Okay. Okay. And then now I've quickly built a little interactive sorting kind of thing. Bird goes here, eagle, and then mouse and parakeet, cat, and dove. Check it. And so it'll tell me which ones are right or which ones were wrong. I can reset it back to the beginning, or if we give up, I can just have it solved. Okay, real quick little fun little sorting tool. You can also do that with images. So you would do a search for whatever pictures you wanted the kids to sort, and then you just drag and drop them into the spot where they go. So again, that's under Lesson Activity Toolkit in Activities. And then you can kind of search through all these. Note reveals, kind of a cool one. That's another one that I like. New page, note reveal. And again, one activity with 6 different colors in it. So you can use this like you used to use the old little overhead transparency and slowly move the piece of paper down. So if you edit that, you can put in the stuff that you want to give as notes. You can password protect it as well. And then you just, to reveal them, you just click the buttons and go on with your instruction. Okay. Let's see. Sentence arrange, tiles, timeline reveal, vortex sort. So all these different little interactives and activities you can build right in there. Different examples. I haven't dug into that too much. Different games. So you can, kids are kind of bored, you can throw a Sudoku puzzle at them or something like that. Oh, no items in Sudoku? Come on, man. It used to be there. I must have deleted it. There's the dice. And you know, if you're using numbers, it'll actually speak the numbers out to you. If you're doing different languages in Spanish, French, you can have some fun with that. That's right, yeah. Let's do a French number.
4, 1.
There you go. Okay, and there's some other things in there. Take a few minutes and kind of dig into that lesson activity toolkit. And they're, again, easy to build your own little activities with your own content and things in there. So any questions on that lesson activity toolkit? I hope this isn't something you have to go and download. It should be on your computers. It isn't. It's there. Okay, good. Okay. Any other questions on that one or comments? Any of you guys use any of those activities before? Okay, good. What's some of your favorites that I didn't show?
I just use the sort one. So.
Just the one? Which one?
Just the sorts.
Oh, the sorts. Good. Yeah. Simple. All right. But what if you want to kind of build your own little activity there? You can do that. Okay. With your own custom photos and whatever you want to do. It's kind of fun. The example they show in the tutorial is what are some foods that the horse will eat? And you drag the food to the horse, and if he eats it, it disappears, and if he doesn't, it goes back. But basically, you can build any activity. You just have to have an interactive object where you want the kids to drag the stuff to, and then whether it's positive or negative, it'll react differently. So let's show the instructions on how to build this are right there, but I'll show you guys myself. So what you do is, and all I did is I grabbed these, I searched for mammals and for reptiles in the gallery, and then I just made a box just up here with the shape builder. I just picked this guy and drew the box and put it in there. So to start an activity, you select the object you want to be like the container, and the activity builder is underneath this little plugin right here. Okay. It'll show up originally as this activity builder. Go ahead and click on that. And then I'm going to say, make this object an activity object. Tap the edit button. And so this is showing me that this is now the container with those little blue outlines. And then accept these objects, reject these objects. Just so that I can make it a little easier, I'm going to uncheck that auto hide. Otherwise, when I try to drag something, that disappears and it gets crazy. So, mammals. So we got mammals up here at the top is what I want to gather. So that guy goes in there. That guy goes in there. Kitty cat goes in there. Dog goes in there. And then here you can just say, oh, add all remaining. So you don't have to drag them all in there. Oh, and it brought in the text too. Maybe I need to get rid of those. Okay. Those aren't going to be part of the activity. All right. And so now done. There we go. Tap over here or auto hide now. Let's have you guys come up and who wants to play along? I'm gonna pick the animal. Okay. You saw the answer key, but
I think this
Okay.
might be.
see, so just spit it right back out there. Oh, one thing I didn't do. So that took it, it disappeared. You may want to click on that object and say send it to the back. Order, send to back. So that now when you drag it on top of there, it shows up. Okay, cat, disappears, lizard, rejects. Whoa, I threw that bear over the place, right there.
That's tricky.
I know, can I throw other things?
That's good.
I didn't know you could do that, it's kind of fun.
I'm sorry to interrupt, this is just a quick question. Mrs. Reynolds, do you know where Peyton Cole is going?
Like which teacher?
No, I mean, he's moving, that's sort of, okay, thank you.
All right, so again, how did I get there? I put in the objects that I wanted the kids to sort or play around with. Click on the initial object that I want to be the container, and then here under the lesson activity toolkit. You can reset everything so the activity goes back to where you started, or if you just clear properties, you can start over again and fix that stuff. So questions on the activity builder. Pretty simple to do. You can do some of this with the category sort. It's just a little way to customize a little bit more for what you're doing in your classroom. All right, what's next? I don't want to do that. This is a different recording software that I have. Okay, next slide. Where are we at? Okay, links. How many of you guys have made a link out of an object? Or, okay, pretty easy to do, but very useful. So you don't have to have kids type anything in or out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a link out of this object. I wish you could just grab the text tool. This is how I make links. I highlight stuff and then I say insert a link to that. So I just click on the word. Doesn't work on Notebook. You can only link to have objects be linked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this URL. Select it all. Maybe a triple click will do that for me. Let's try that. There we go. And then I can right click on that and say copy that URL. And now here under the, I click on the object. And how do I put a link in? What do you think I should try? Yeah, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the power with what you can do within Notebook is here in that little drop-down menu. Link is there. You can link out to an external web page, link to a different page in the Notebook. So if you wanted to, based on what you're going to talk about, make this option go this way, make this option go that way. A different file on the computer, if you wanted to open up a web page or a document or something outside of Notebook, you can do that. But I'm just going to link to a web page. And paste it in there. There we go. And then I can choose to click on the entire object or just an icon in the corner. I'll say that object, if I click anywhere on that link, it'll work. And so now I can get rid of this link here, delete that. And now if I click on spellingcity.com, it takes us over to the website.
One way that I use the links, like if I have a week's worth of lessons, then I'll have on the first page, I'll say day 1, day 2, day 3, so I'll link to that
Cool.
spot
Great idea.
where I want.
Use it as a table of contents.
Yeah.
Yep. Great idea. Excellent. All right, so I wanted to link to another document, like this other tutorial document. Let's do that. Click on link. And I'm going to link to a file on this computer. It's going to say, where is it? I saved it to my desktop so I know. No, I didn't. I saved it to my Dropbox so you guys can download it. It's in my public folder, in Notebook, and that's the file I want you to get right there. Open, and insert link. Now when I click on the paper clip down here, it'll load that other Notebook file, So you can link documents, link to websites. Again, this is the tutorial for what's new in Notebook 11.4. I'm not sure what version you guys are on. Do you know?
12, I think.
It's on 12.
They're getting the computers in the fall, so.
Okay.
it'll
And
be-
14 is the current version. That's for 2014. So that brings in some other cool 3D stuff. I haven't seen it. The license I have for this one won't work on the newer version, so I'm showing you maybe old stuff, but hopefully it's new for you guys. But there is the ability to do some sorts with that new version. If you have a lot of objects on the page, you can bring that in. Let's see. Up here, this little plugin up here will allow you to align objects all together. So if you want them all on a baseline, I have to select them first. There we go. So select the objects just by drawing a big box around them. And then let's put them all, line them up on the bottom, line them up on the side. Yeah, get all my ducks in a row. Exactly. Exactly. Distribute them that way. I need to spread them out vertically maybe first. Once you start sorting them, they all kind of bunch together. But that'll allow you to line up if you're, a stickler to have everything straight and you have laser level at home and all your pictures are perfect. Okay, that's a tool that'll be good for you. It's underneath this little plug-in, little puzzle button right there. But I digress. So let's go back to the other notebook where we were working. Any questions on linking to a document or to websites or things like that? Okay. Cool. All right, animating objects and page recording. So these are both on here. This is a recording I did earlier of an alien-looking bunny that's in the clip art. Can I move that or just hit play? If I hit play, that shows the animation that I did with that bunny and making him scurry around a bit. So that's a page recording. If I want to, how do I get to that? Okay. Both of these, the reason why I have them on the same slide is that you can get to both of these options the same way. Anyone ever use this button here? Yeah, that's your the properties. It looks like a text tool to me, but I don't. So if I click on an object and then go to properties here, it'll allow me to change its opacity. If I wanted to make it more or less whatever. But object animation and page recording are those options right up here. So if I choose object animation, I can choose what happens when I click on it. Fade in, fade out, flip around, fly in, fly out. The one I did with the bunny was shrink and grow. So let's have a camel flip around his axis. Okay. The direction, I can choose whatever direction I want him to move. I think a camel needs to go slow. And occurs when it so all these different settings you can do. And then when you're back in here, you tap on that object. Just a little visual cue to the kids to, to kind of have a little bit of fun with what you're talking about, make sure they're paying attention. But then if I go back to properties here and do page recording, or start recording, play the recording back. And so when I hit start recording, whatever I do on the screen, and I get this little big red button here, so it shows what's going on. It's not recording my voice. That's the one thing I was kind of bummed out about. But whatever I do on the screen, if I pick up a pen and write something. Okay. When I'm done, hit the stop button there. I believe. Maybe come back here. Page recording, and play it back. I'm still recording. I'll stop it now. All right, then if I play it back, it'll show what I do. Again, there's no audio, but whatever you do on the screen or write or anything else, you can record that, show a process, explain something.
Is there a
And then,
time?
I don't think so. Yeah. And then if you want, you just come back and it should give me a little play button on there. Maybe that'll just play it for the whole page. There we go. So you can just go around and work with students individually. If the kids that don't get it can watch it again up here, and gives you some time to do some of that individualized instruction and have kids see that process all around.
Well, one of the things in our kindergarten core is they need to be able to write an equation for something they see. So I've done this and had like 5 camels walk away, and so they have to write that there were 7 take away 5 equals
Oh,
to
cool.
that. So I think there's lots of possibilities for you.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, like record everything that's going on, I'm using a specialized piece of software called ScreenFlow. That's kind of expensive. It's about $100. But if you don't want to do that, those tools to do that with the smart recording or the smart tools are built in. Okay, it's under the tools menu, and it is not under the tools menu. Where is it at? I thought it was there. Shape pen eraser, line fill text. Let's do this. That button there will allow you to customize your toolbar. And a lot of the different options that are kind of hidden away in menus are here as well. But under the tools menu, see, I have to admit, I got prepared for this at 11:30 today. It's been a very crazy week, so I apologize. I thought it would be there. It is not? Okay. Where did I see that? Let's see, file, learning on the fly.
Do we understand that?
That's right. Don't be afraid of it. Video. The insert video will be how we bring in videos that we've downloaded. And I don't have my toolbar showing either. I've added that to my floating tools. But I know where to find it. So in your, and this is where you guys can find it as well. So in your, if I go to my hard drive, in the applications folder, there is a folder called Smart Technologies. Okay. And in there, there's the notebook stuff, but under the Smart Tools, there is the recorder. And so you may want to make that a shortcut in your tray, wherever you have your little Mac tray. But what the recorder does is it puts up a little floating menu for me. Right there. I guess I need to find it. Is that it? Yeah. And so if I choose start recording, I don't know if I'm going to cross the streams here and make things melt, but hit recording there, click to record the full screen, click that, and so now I'm recording full screen, whatever, and it's also picking up the audio. So this is using the built-in stuff, the built-in microphone on your teacher computer.
We have that too.
Yeah. And so whatever you do, whatever you write on the board, it's capturing, and even if you jump out of Notebook, it'll show whatever website you're on or whatever you're writing or anything else like that. When I'm done, go back to QuickTime Player and choose Stop Recording. Nope, that's the different recording that I'm doing. Where am I at here? See, too many windows open. I should have practiced this before I got here today. Okay, QuickTime Player, window, bring all to front. Nope, that didn't do it either. Maybe if I say new movie, it'll stop the other one. There we go. No, that's recording from my camera. So we don't want that. I'll just quit QuickTime Player and it'll probably quit the recording. There we go. So do you want to save the changes here? I'll call it screen recording. Save it to my desktop. And choose that there and then hit save. And then on my desktop there's my screen recording. If I hit play on that. Recording full screen, whatever, it's also picking up the audio. So this is using built-in stuff, the built-in microphone on your computer, like your teacher computer. Yeah. And so whatever you do, whatever you write on the board, it's capturing. Even if you jump out of a notebook, it'll show whatever website you're on or whatever you're writing or anything else like that. When I'm done, go back to QuickTime. So I instructed you for 25 seconds, and it took me a minute to figure out how to stop the recording. So, and I didn't really figure it out. I just kind of stopped everything. But that's there. But again, I'm recording this whole thing, so hopefully we'll get that in there. So questions on recording just a slide without the audio, animating objects, recording the whole screen. Again, in that Smart Notebook or Smart Technologies folder, I would bring that little recorder out and put that on your dock so you can get to it quickly if you want to record something. Okay, next slide. This one's kind of fun. Balloon Pop. It's one of those, another one of those little interactive things. Anyone use Balloon Pop? Okay. I'll sit down to set this one up. But to get there, in the gallery, if you search for balloon or Balloon Pop, under, again, when you do a search, it brings up these different related folders, pictures. It's under the interactive and multimedia. You just bring in and drag this over. And I've got the faces in there because that's what I want to show once the balloon pops. So whatever, you kind of layer these little animated things, the balloon part needs to be above whatever you want to show beneath it. And so you can hit the little arrows down here and change that text. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, just highlight all that and say, this is C. Okay, obviously you'll ask something a more strenuous question probably than picking the correct and incorrect answer, right? The colors are random. Whoops, I popped him. Okay, I need to bring him down here. The little arrows down here, do you see a little tab down there? Allows you to get to edit the text. And then incorrect. And so now when you're lecturing along and you have the kids come up and say, okay, pick the right answer. And if they hit that, am I out of the editing mode? Nope. There we go. So, incorrect answer, pop the balloon, smiley with the sad face shows underneath it. If gotta reactivate the balloon. Pop that one, shows the happy face. Tap it again and then reset. So you can
move those around too.
You can, yeah. You need
So
to,
you have to lock them together, right?
yeah, best to lock them together. How do you lock?
So you can switch them around.
Yeah, if I want to lock them together, do you know how to do that?
Group them and
Yeah, let me select.
Lock them.
I have both of them.
lock them.
We'll lock them and stick them right in one location though.
You just want to group
No,
them.
but you can lock them with the move it and able to move them too. And then-
No, lock them will put them in place, I think. So if I group them, group is not highlighted because I don't have more than one thing selected. And I still need to do that. Huh. Doesn't want me to select them. Lock is, or group is undone. Lock just means it'll, lock in place but allow to move, yeah. But it still didn't let
Could
me
you do
grab
it
both
if
of
you
them.
pulled it off to the side so you could see both of them? But then it won't.
But then, yeah, if you, no, it's not letting me select all those
That's weird.
because I've locked it. I locked that
Oh,
one.
yeah, that one's locked. Unlocked.
Anyway, another little fun one to use. What's next? So there are timers in there. There's a couple different timers in the gallery. And so you can set this to for whatever you want. If you tap the seconds up, let's set it for 5 seconds. And hit play. Then the timer will count down and you'll have a big buzzer at the end of it. But what if you want to use the timer, show it on the screen, but not have your notebook file showing? Okay, there's an option there. So I can set it for 5 again. And then under the View menu, choose Transparent Background. And you may have done this accidentally once and said, well, why would I ever want to do that? Right? But now I have my desktop beneath. I can do whatever I want to do and then hit my timer and still interact with the screen, but have that file or that timer that's in the notebook still floating up on top. You can see that I can still interact with the text and stuff that's on there as long as I grab the right thing. So it's you still have whatever's on the page, but it just allows you to interact with the background as well. And then to get out of that, it just puts it down here in this little menu, and if I hit the transparent background, it all comes back. Okay. And again, in the gallery, if I search for the timer, there's a small one that's the one I have on the screen, and then a bigger one if you want to count up, count down. So there's a couple different timers here. far so good? Okay. I was hoping to get more interactive here, but yeah. Like I said, I'm recording all this and you can be able to capture this stuff or get to it after the fact. This is what took me so long to get figured out today, is because I think YouTube doesn't want their stuff embedded other places. I did some searching and found that, hey, if I go here to, no, it's under the gallery thing. This notebook gallery beta 2.0, they're saying, hey, you can do all kinds of cool things with it. But they've removed the link to that, so it doesn't go anywhere. I was just hitting a lot of roadblocks today getting this done. I found this tutorial that says, hey, here's how to embed YouTube videos using this thing called the Voki avatar widget. And I guess this website, does anyone use those? They're like little personal avatars you can set up that speak. And I've never used them, but the screen is like this wide, and when you put in a regular YouTube video, it cut it off. And so I couldn't, what he shows here in the tutorial is just put it in there and just resize the window, but they've changed it so that you can't resize the window. So it took me a while to figure it out, but I think I have a good solution for you. So let's, so the first step, let's make a new, I'll leave the instructions here, but let's just make a new page. And let's go find a video on YouTube that we want to use. I'll do a shameless promotion. I'll go to my YouTube channel, because I know there's some good videos there. And go to my videos. And this one, let's see. This little hailstorm on. We were up at Bryan Head, going through this amazing hailstorm. The temperature was like 43 degrees on July 4th. Wow, it was crazy. So anyway, so I find the video I want. You go to the share link here, share button, which gives you a link that you can email and share whatever with anybody else. But there's an embed option. Anyone ever used Embed Code? Okay. You don't need to know anything about it other than it exists, and you can use it to put online content into your notebook or websites or things like that. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Do you have our own channel to be able to do this?
No, any YouTube video. Yeah, any YouTube video, you just come down here to the bottom, click the share button, then the embed button, and copy this weird looking text. Okay. Now you go back to your notebook, and I have pre-installed in my content this Voki avatar. And I'll show you how to add that here in a minute. Okay. So this little box here, and it says, all right, paste your code in here. Control V. But I'm going to show you what the problem is. If I don't change this width number, this is the breakthrough I had today. If I just click this and hit go, it'll bring the video in all right. But you may see a problem here. The guy said, yeah, it's cool. Just paste the code in there, click go, and then resize the window, the widget, to make it fit your video. Okay, do you see a problem? Okay, I can play it, but I only see half of the video. I can't get the full screen view, and there's no way to, dang it. We'll give you the link for it. And if I want to move it around, I have to be very careful to find that. But there's no way to resize it, okay? So I'm thinking, well, you guys don't want to do that. That's kind of lame. So here's how you get around it. Same thing, insert that Voki avatar. There were other widgets that they said could do this, but then Smart has removed them all from their website. So I was frustrated. But what you do is you change this width here to like 300. And so it'll actually resize the video inside that window, so it'll kind of shrink it and squish it vertically. But guess what it allows you to do then? Once it's there, you'll see the video, you see all the controls, and so how would you play it? Hit that full screen button right there, boom. And then you just play. All right. And those instructions are right here on this, whoops. My pages are out of order a little bit. No, they're not. I went the wrong way. Okay. So find your video, click share, click embed, copy the code, get the Voki widget, paste in the embed code, change that width to 300, and then click go. And then those videos will be embedded there. Just hit the full screen button, and you're good to go.
So where do we get the little Voki widget?
Like that, what I have down there on the bottom?
Yeah.
So that's great. Where do I get that? The robot here, I've made a link. If you search the Smart Exchange for Voki widget, or if you follow this notebook later on, it'll get you there. But just, search the Smart Exchange for Voki widget or Voki avatar. Download the file right here. And then how do you get it into your content? Okay, that's another good question. I need to show you that. So I'm going to download it. Where does this file go? It's different on all your computers. Wherever your downloads go is where that file goes, okay? Go back to Notebook. And you can do this with any content. If you come here to the gallery and choose My Content, click the little arrow there, Add to My Content. And so if it's a notebook file, if it's something you use all the time, but this is a download, so I go to my downloads, this Voki avatar.gallery item, and you click open, and it'll show up here in My Content. And then you slide it over whenever you want to use it. Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. All of the other instructions I found online were pointing people to ways to pretty much illegally download YouTube video, and then you insert it as a regular video, as a Flash object. This is kind of the only way I've found to work around it without having to find a site or find some software, download a video, and then bring it back into a notebook file. So, you want me to show you that one more time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, one more time. Let's go back to my YouTube here. And let's do a search for cool teacher. I have no idea what I'm going to bring up, so our mileage may vary here. This has got a lot of views on it, though. So.
We, mankind,
And an
have
advertisement.
progressed so far.
I mean, I'm not saying I was a legend or anything, okay, but...
Okay, so now where do I go? Let's say this is the perfect video, okay? So walk me through it. What do I do? What do I do?
Go to share.
Okay, find the share button. And then what?
Embed.
Embed. Copy that code. I'll go back to my notebook. I'm going to make a new page. Okay.
Enter My Content.
Okay, in the gallery, My Content, the avatar.
Copy and paste. Paste your copy and
Change it.
Yeah, this is the crucial bit right here.
go.
And go. Go! And it takes it a minute, but then once it's ready to go, I wish you could resize this so you could, even just make the video that would show in there bigger, but you can't.
Full screen.
Yep, and then hit the full screen button and that'll take over. And
I mean, I'm not saying I was a legend or anything, okay, but I was actually
great
the only
face,
kid in
Paul.
school that got nominated to be homecoming king twice. Uno, dos, and
so, yeah. If you want to move it around, you have to get, after it's unclicked, you have to get right up here on the top just above it to get the object to come back up so you move it around. But
So when you embed the video, you can do it without having the ad on there, right?
yeah, it strips the ad away.
It strips the
Yeah,
ad away. That's the benefit of doing it.
Yeah.
Too.
yeah. You can always insert a link and just jump to the YouTube page, but then you've got the ad and all the related videos and all that stuff.
This is the worst thing
Yeah.
about YouTube
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, and so it's just a way to get right to that video.
I'll turn my sound off.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, exactly. Alrighty.
Can you watch it?
So that's how we get YouTube videos. You guys know about eMedia. Hopefully it's not a surprise or anybody else. How many have never heard of eMedia before? It's okay to raise your hand. It's one of you. That's okay. We are in a Google world, and I know YouTube is super convenient and just really easy to get to. but Utah has a better solution in place. It takes some effort to get in there and find some stuff. Utah has what's called the Utah Instructional Media Consortium. And every year we go out and bring vendors in for educational videos. There's a group of Utah educators from all around the state that preview and vet these videos. And so they've been approved, they've been purchased by Utah, approved by Utah teachers. They're aligned to the core curriculum. And they're pretty good quality. They're getting better and better all the time. So how do I get there? How do I get to eMedia? Whoops, I don't want to record this. Go away. Okay, there's the rainstorm. Okay, download and insert video from eMedia. I need to write my instructions here. So first, go to pioneer.uen.org. Okay, do you guys know what Pioneer is?
Yeah.
Pioneer is our Utah online library with eMedia and all kinds of other great resources. Click on eMedia. I'm going to teach you the hard way to get there because it gives you more stuff. It allows access to what's called UIMC Plus, which has Bill Nye videos and better stuff. So I'm sad that there's a difference between, there's some districts that don't pay into this and some that do. The ones that do have to go through the hoops to get to the good stuff, which kind of sucks. So you're going to go to my.uen. You hopefully have a MyUEN account. On personal page, click on UIMC Plus. And then that goes into this takes you to eMedia. All right, so let's do that part of it. So in a new tab, myuen.org. If you don't know what your account is, send me an email. I'll put my email address up here, and I can send you back what your password is. Or just stick around after we're done, and I can look it up and tell you what it is. Yeah. Okay? I think I have one. Okay. So once you're in, log in, go. Okay. UIMC plus eMedia. I better put that in there. It takes you, click on UIMC plus. Okay. I go here, UIMC plus eMedia. Now I'm into I'm behind the velvet rope, right? Getting the good stuff. Okay, so let's do a quick search for Bill Nye. And all of the Bill Nye series is here. Why isn't my enter key working? 106 results for Bill Nye the Science Guy. So here's the deal with eMedia. When Utah buys these videos, we buy digital distribution and duplication rights for 5 years. So once they come here on eMedia, they're there for 5 years, and if that license expires, they go away. But if you download these videos as a teacher in Utah, you can keep it on your teacher machine as long as you're a teacher in Utah, as long as you don't redistribute it or do other things that would break the copyright. So you can download them and have them locally and not have to worry about internet or
So can you just download them
DVDs.
to a file on your computer?
Yes.
Does it
Yes.
take up a lot of space, or does it matter?
They're not too bad. Sometimes there's high and low res versions of it, but yeah, you can get to a bunch of them.
Question.
Uh-huh.
So we're getting new computers.
Uh-huh.
So, because I do have some of these downloaded on my computer, but with the new computer, you'll teach us how to back everything up so that we can, or
That's
how will
important.
that work, I guess? I don't know.
You want to talk about that, Mark?
Yeah, we actually will just put your old computer in target disk mode, set the new one up, and then copy all your files straight over.
Oh, that's
But-
awesome.
But it doesn't hurt to back your files up
Yeah.
beforehand, just
Yeah.
in case.
Okay. I need to
Probably the
refresh
best
my
solution would be to
course.
go out to buy an external USB drive. You can get like a terabyte for $100, and maybe some other ones for cheaper. And then the Macs have this thing called Time Machine built in. And if you go to System Preferences, open up Time Machine, plug in the disk, you can say use that as a backup. And then every time if you just leave it plugged in, it backs up every hour, and then does a compilation backup every 24 hours, and then a monthly or you can just plug it in whenever you want to do the backup and not. It's super simple.
Could you download it to like your Google
Absolutely.
account?
But if you have, you only have 30 gigabytes there. I use Carbonite at home. Carbonite's a service that's $52 a year, but it is always doing backups in the background. And then if everything crashes, it's all on the web, and you just say restore it. And it's kind of thoughtless. It's worth $5 a month to me to have that done. Carbonite. Yep, Carbonite. Okay, so let's say we're doing eyeball. That sounds like fun. So with eMedia, you can just go right to the site, hit the full screen, and stream it right from here, kind of like YouTube. But again, if you go past the
What we see every day.
if this video goes past the that 5-year thing, the video goes away. But if you come down here, eyeball video for QuickTime, so a 20-minute video is 100 megabytes, and that's not too bad. So let's download that video.
So you have to choose QuickTime?
On the Macs, yeah, that'll work a lot better. If you're on a PC, use the Windows Media version, but you guys all have Macs for your teacher machine, don't you? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to download. Take about a minute. But again, I can take this. You may want to rename this file because the name is, UMC Bill 911 424 blah, 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 blah. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So you could rename it to Bill Nye Eyeball. And then file it away wherever you keep your files for your units and different lessons and things like that. Okay, so then this takes you to media, search for your video, choose QuickTime download. After previewing video okay. And then in Notebook, choose Coos, insert video. Video, yep, right there. Insert video. Okay, are we done downloading yet? Where's my downloads at? We are done. Okay, so let's show that in the Finder. I'm going to rename this to Bill Nye Eyeballs. Okay, just drop that on my desktop, or just when you save stuff, make sure you know where it's saved so you can go and get it later on. Okay, and so now I need to get my pen back there. I think I can actually do this from the board. Insert video. It's going to say, where's that video at? Bill Nye Eyeball. Oh my! See, I should have done this before I tried it. But why did it not give me that right? Oh, it's got to be in Flash, maybe. Okay. So without changing the video file, here's how we're going to have to do it. I'm going to insert a link to the file. So you can do it as a link. Link. And instead of choosing web page, file on this computer, choose file, Bill Nye. Now it'll come in for some reason. And then insert the link. And then now when I click on the paperclip, there's Bill Nye. Full screen is there. So that's not so bad. I think it has to be a Flash file. So that'll getting the video converter out and changing the video from
Hey, it's just Cisco and Ebert. I love these guys.
Hi, I'm Roger Ebert. And I'm Gene Cisco. Watching a film is a very complicated activity. More complicated.
Okay, and then if let's see, how do you back out of full screen? Escape will do it. I don't see where the option went there. There you go. So it's a separate video, but that make sure that you put the video where it's going to live eventually before you link it, because if you move it, then the link will break and stuff like that. So, okay, we are just about done. Let me go back to my, do we need to talk about some, do you guys know about some different, do you have clickers? Let me ask you that first.
Yeah.
Everyone, or do you share a set, or? Okay, so on this link here, let me show you this. It goes to my website, and here's the tutorial we just went through. I'll go and replace that. I'll also link the recording that we did here. So if you want to go back and watch it again and watch me stumble through how to stop the recording, that'll be there. The tutorial for the Notebook 11 is 4 is there. You can also get to that by going to the Help menu. You come up here and go to Help. Smart Notebook tutorials right there, and that's kind of a little step-by-step how to do some of the things that some of the basics. Okay? And let me go back to here. And what was I going to show? Oh, free student response systems. So there's a few. I've got them all linked on my website here. Yeah, Teacher Stop Being Boring, being awesome instead. Mentimeter is a good one. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones. It has two big advantages. You can have an unlimited number of questions and an unlimited number of responses per question for free. It doesn't do a great job with tracking information. It's all anonymous voting. But if you wanted to do like an assembly or something bigger than like 40 respondents, Mentimeter is the tool for you. Because you can even send it out to the parents and get survey results back from them and all kinds of cool stuff. The ones that are more educationally minded though are down here. Infuse Learning is one that I like, and these are all free web-based services, so you don't have to have the clickers in your classroom that day in order to use them. The students do have to have some sort of web-enabled device, so in the lab, or a Chromebook, or an iPad, or an iPod Touch, something they get online with to use these. But Infuse Learning, I like a little bit better than Socrative right now. These two are very similar, but Infuse Learning has a cool little response. You can have a drawing response. You can ask your kids to draw something and then send it back into you instead of just answering a question. Kind of fun. And then there's a YouTube video on how Infuse Learning works, the sign-up page, and then the teacher and student login pages are right there. Poll Everywhere. If your kids have cell phones, I don't know how as far down as you go if they're bringing cell phones to school or not. Okay. This one will allow you to do text message voting, so kids could vote with their cell phones. So the other two might be more appropriate for the students you guys have. I don't have time to really, maybe we can do another training and follow up with this and show you guys that. But that's kind of my notebook stuff for today. Do you guys have any other comments or questions or things that you wanted to know how to do and haven't been able to do before? Or, like I said, I don't get to use these every day. It took me a while to get prepared for this and to show you guys some interesting stuff. And hopefully those will be useful to you. Yeah? Okay. I have a sign-up sheet here. Make sure you sign that. I'll give you a relicensure points for being here. Anything else? My email address, do you guys need that?
Yes.
Let's put that up there.
And we can stay in our passwords.
Pardon?
We can stay in our passwords.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. If you don't mind, I could just throw the school up on the board and you could see what they are.
Well, I don't want to link them.
I'll cover it up.
Okay, there's my email. Feel free to send me a message. In fact, I'm in a good mood today. That's my cell phone. You can call me anytime you need if you're having a problem or a question. Here's what I ask. If you try to spend like 30 minutes max figuring out a problem, if you go beyond that, call me. Otherwise, or talk to Mark or, but I'm happy to help with whatever you guys have going on. Not just smartboard stuff, but I train on Sage and Google stuff and everything else. So. Absolutely. Okay, let's break privacy laws here and put your passwords up on the screen.
Are you still recording this?
That's a good point. Let's stop the recording.